Throughout time and across cultures, artists have used still life drawing to help them get more accurate depictions of what it is they are drawing. Having things in front of you and visually looking at and observing these objects helps you to get more accurate details in your finished product. Here you can see some examples of those artists' work.
Today, you are going to be using your observation skills to create a still life drawing. Let's get started.
To get started today, there's a few materials that you are going to need. You're going to need a pencil, you're going to need an eraser, you're going to need a white colored pencil, you're going to need a black piece of paper. This will be used for our final copy, so you could set that to the side for now. And you're also going to need a tan piece of paper. This is going to be used for our sketch. This is what we'll sketch out 4 different ideas on. Like I said earlier, what we're going to be drawing is a still life. So in front of you, you should have some bottles that are set up. We're using these bottles because they allow you to get a few details, but aren't too complicated to draw. If you were to think about a bottle, you might not think about the details such as what is on the lip of the bottle, or how the bottom kind of looks, or even these curves. So the goal today is to work on those observation skills. We want to become better at drawing what it is we see. In order to start drawing, you're going to take this tan piece of paper and you're going to fold it in half hot dog shape. And you're also going to fold it in half hamburger style. In these 4 boxes, we are going to create 4 different sketches of the same still life drawing, but from different viewpoints. Right now, I have my bottles arranged in an interesting composition. Whenever you're trying to select a viewpoint from which to view this, whether it be this direction or straight on like I am, or from this direction over here, you want to make sure that your bottles are aligned in a way where some are in front of others, some are behind others, they overlap in some spots. So a poor composition would be if all these bottles were kind of aligned in a straight line and you couldn't even really see a piece of every single one. Instead, have some in front, some in back, and some overlap a little bit. Then, whenever you go to draw it, you don't want to draw too small in your picture plane. So if this was the square that I'm going to draw in my first sketch, I want to start thinking about, okay, which is my biggest bottle? You could start with that one because you know that that needs to fill up most of your picture plane whenever you go to draw it. It's okay if things run off the top or the bottom or the sides of the paper or picture plane, because this is what we're pretending is our paper, whenever you draw them. What I do want you to look for is all those details. Then I want to look at how does the bottle that is behind there interact with the one in front of it. The bottle behind starts to come out a little bit from the shoulder, I'm going to call that, of the bottle in front of it. This bottle is a little bit skinnier, so I'm going to draw it that way whenever I go to draw it. And once you're done with one sketch, I want you to move on to another one. Before you move on to another one, you want to change your viewpoint. Maybe you go and sit over this direction and view it from this angle over here. Make sure that when you're selecting a new angle to view it from, you are also looking at the composition or the arrangement of the bottles. You don't want them to be directly in line with each other. You want some things to overlap and some things to be behind. What I also want you to think about is what went well with your first sketch and maybe what didn't go so well. If I was to evaluate mine, I think I drew just slightly too close because I didn't really have enough room for this top bottle right here. So I might back up and kind of view it from a little bit further back whenever I go to draw my second sketch. I'm going to sketch this out and I'll check back with you in just a bit. So here you can see how I selected a new viewpoint, and in this sketch I was able to fit all 4 of the bottles on the paper, but I still filled up my space. There's not too much empty space behind here. That's another thing you want to kind of try to balance whenever you're drawing. You want to fill up the space, but not fill it up so much that you're only able to fit just 1 bottle in there. I want you to finish off your 2 other sketches and then decide which one it is you want to use for your final copy. Once you've made that decision, you can get your black piece of paper, and in pencil first, I want you to draw that out on your black piece of paper. Once you're happy with your drawing of your still life, you're going to go ahead and go over it with your white colored pencil. Before you do that, I want you to check a few things. Did you fill the space? I would suggest that in order to fill the space, your drawing should come within a finger's width of at least 2 of the edges of the paper. You don't want your bottles to be too small on your black piece of paper. Once you've decided that your drawing is filling the space, you could go ahead and start to outline your bottles with your white colored pencil. When you do this, press kind of hard. You are drawing on black paper, so you really want the pigment of the white colored pencil to kind of cover over the black of the paper. When you're all done going over with the white, that is all we're going to do today. You have created a well-crafted still life drawing using some glass vessels, and you should be so proud of yourself. I hope that you had so much fun creating and learned a little bit about drawing from observation and how artists have used still life over time to create a more detailed and accurate drawing of their compositions. Make sure to post a picture of your work on Google Classroom so that we can all see what it is you've created. Thanks for watching.